Okay. Oh, there you are, Dawn. We can see you now. Excellent. Very good. So we're going to go ahead with our broadcast and begin our webinar. We see about 25 participants currently. So we are going to go ahead and begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gatos. We're so thrilled to have you all join us this evening. And we thank you all for your time and attention in this, our very first Gatos webinar. And the purpose of our webinar tonight is to introduce Gatos. And during the webinar, we are going to be discussing the idea behind the company and ogatos.com and how you are going to be able to benefit from gatos.com and our vision for that project. And your responsibilities as distributors or graphic designers with Gatos. We are going to have a live panel where you guys will have the opportunity to ask us questions about the company, and we'll talk about Gatos. And then we'll also have the opportunity to text questions in for those folks who are attending and would prefer to ask questions via text. Okay. So before we actually introduce everyone, I just want to give you some house rules for the webinar before we go forward. So for panelists who'd like to speak, if I could ask, just raise your hand before you go ahead and speak, and I'll let you know, I'll acknowledge you, and you can go ahead and we'll make sure that everybody speaks one person at a time so everyone can be understood. I'd like to go ahead and introduce, okay, good? Everybody good? Thumbs up? We're all on the same page. Excellent. Okay, very good. Awesome. So let me introduce Joshua. He's the guy with the black hat. Josh is our senior marketing officer, our CMO. And Josh is a wonderful guy. You're going to love him. He's really easy to chat with and to talk with. He's my right-hand man. And we've been working together for 2 years. We've known each other since that time. And he has 10 years experience in internet marketing and retail management. So that's Josh. Thanks for the introduction. Appreciate that. And we also have Charles Andrade. Charles, hey Charles, is the founder of the company called TELUS Complete, which is a social networking business. Now I've known Charles for more than 2 years. He's a wonderful business partner. He's a great guy, Charles is. He's humble, he's just like Joshua, he's easygoing. And he is what's known as a multipreneur from Toronto, Canada. So Charles, really, really happy and honored to have you on board. And you're very familiar with webinars, is that right? Yeah. Okay. So looks like we've lost Bill. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey, Bill. And now we've got Bill Anderson. And Bill is an experienced networker with over 28 years experience in network marketing. And he is a U.S. Navy disabled veteran. He's an actor. He's very outspoken and very good at presenting. So good to have you on the panel. How you doing? Very good, very good. Then we have Dawn. Dawn on the hey, Dawn. So Dawn is a home entrepreneur, and she lives in San Jacinto, California. And small world, we lived in the same town at one point in Riverside, California. She used to live there, I used to live there as well. And I believe it's her child that went to the same school that I actually went to, the California School for the Deaf in Riverside, right? Right, Don? Yeah, yeah. So really appreciate you being on the panel. Thanks so much. And then we've got Brian Hurtnecki. Brian is a prolific social media video marketer. He's awesome. He does lots of vlogs and has been doing vlogs and is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he's also a member of the Deaf Gamers Network, which is known as DGN. So he does a lot of role-playing games online, multiple players, so very, very talented in that area. So, and we thank him for joining us tonight. And last but not least, we have Berlina Reynolds, who happens to be my sister. And she's here to give us support if needed with our sign language interpreting. And Berlina has experience also with network marketing, a touch, and has been involved with Ambit Energy. So, hey, Berlina. So, before we move into my remarks, if you guys have any things that you'd like to share, I want to give you an opportunity. Charles, you want to say something before we begin about Gatos?
Absolutely. Thank you to our CEO, Mr. Raymond Merritt, who's worked so hard on this company for over a year. He actually came to visit me here in Toronto late last year. It was a tremendous visit. I could see his vision in person. The passion was extraordinary, and his counterpart, Joshua, thank you for all that you're doing. I know this company was slated for success back then, and what you've done between then and now has been extraordinary. I've run several companies, and I've helped to develop even more. And I knew as soon as you came to us and asked for my help to market your company and try to grow the distributor base, that this was a winner. And it wasn't just because you were doing something new in the network marketing field, but it's because of the time you took to plan out everything with precision. You wrote the documentation out. You actually put thought into the design, the texture, the ambiance within the company. You have a good corporate culture starting here. I can tell everyone on this panel is very loyal, and this is going to be the start of something just amazing. So thank you for inviting me. I'm very, very happy to be part of it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Charles. Yeah, I actually did go and visit him at his home last year. Really beautiful place in Toronto, and you know, before we met, we had been online for 2 years. We'd never met in person, so that was our first opportunity to meet. And he actually looked exactly as I expected when I met him in person. So that was really cool. And he's a great person. So and he's got a cat, as I recall. And I got to tell you, he's one of the most hospitable guys I've ever met. I had no idea that he had so many people following him, thousands and thousands and thousands of people following him online. So we're really, really fortunate to have him. We look up to having him here, and I personally consider him my mentor. So thanks, Charles. Joshua speaking. Just want to say that, we have a great team put together. We all have a great deal of passion. We're all working really hard. We have been working really hard. And we all get that vision, right? We know that 97% of people out there who try to begin their own businesses fail. So we got together and we decided to put our resources together and brainstorm and come up with a true solution that we believe is going to be very successful. So Joshua works remotely out of his home from Idaho. And the rest of us are actually here in Maryland. So we also have independent contractors that work actually all over the United States and across the globe. We have about 4 employees and, well, 4 to 8 independent contractors. We've signed up about that number so far. Anyway, I'd like to go ahead talk a little bit about what Gatos is. Gatos is actually a hub for both e-commerce and advertising. Web shoppers and advertisers both are our customers. And Gatos, oh, looks like we lost Dawn. Oh no, looks like we lost someone. But anyway, Gatos is turning into a full-service, multilingual e-commerce site to give folks the opportunity to market their merchandise on demand, both web-based and also through our web store. Now, remember that internet marketing itself is one form of direct selling, and it's taken off because of this information age, right? Network marketing has really been on the rise, and it's a unique network marketing model because, you know, we believe that it's the best way to find customers. And we're going to use a narrow forced matrix, which we call the 1.5 grid. And that is how we are going to drive our sales. Our plan is patent pending in the United States, and we've also applied for the international patent protections. Joshua says, yeah, that's awesome. So freelance graphic designers and distributors who are drawn into this online POD store will be able to contribute graphic designs and then drive web traffic and refer customers. Because, you know, people, you know, enjoy the opportunity to people will enjoy Gatos for its incredible products and its user interface and its monetary value. And it's got a very unique compensation plan. Now, I also want to tell you about Gatos.com. Gatos stands for Opportunity Gatos. And it's geared toward distributors and graphic designers, advertisers, and the like. Gatos will be where our 1.5 grid genealogies, our marketing suite, and our advertising campaign center and distributors' account profiles will all be found. There's going to be 5 different ways to earn with Gatos. One is going to be direct selling commissions. One is going to be graphic design commissions. One is going to be grid commissions, matching bonuses, and then the last one is rank advancements. Now, the income projections shown in Gatos.com and in our Gatos compensation plan are extraordinary. It's never been Gatos' intention to guarantee you of a particular level of income. The design is to give you an idea of what's possible and what the earning potential could be. And I want to make it very clear that Gatos is not an investment. We're not an investment company at all. The service packages at Gatos.com will include store credits for apparel purchases, for advertising credits, for advertising your product or service, and other advertising tools. And we are following the Direct Selling Association Code of Ethics. Namely, no independent distributor of a company shall engage in any deceptive, false, unethical, or unlawful consumer or recruiting practice. Member companies shall ensure that no statements or promises are made that are likely to mislead customers or prospective distributors. Independent distributors at Gatos will have responsibilities including providing accurate and truthful information regarding the price, quality, and income claims. Independent graphic designers at Gatos will have a responsibility to follow all copyright rules. Okay. What I'd like to do is move to questions and answers from the panel. So I'm going to open the floor now to our panelists, and you're free to ask us what you'd like. We will answer it to the best of our ability. And then if there are any comments, we'll be happy to go ahead with text questions from our webinar members. Let's see, Charles. It looks like we've lost you, Charles. Charles, it looked like Charles was oh, there you are. There you
I'm
are.
here. I heard every word. And just so everyone knows, the K in Gatos is silent. so be aware, it's a silent K. That's so cool. This is the best name for a company ever. Okay. So, when I look at a company and decide, do I want to make a move on it and bring it to my team? Bill, can you mute up for a second? Because it's very loud. Thank you. When I make a decision to make a move with our team to a company, there's a whole bunch of different factors that we look at. I mean, for example, you guys have a very unique product, very good, solid leadership. But in your words, what makes Gatos better than all the other new launches that are coming out there? What kind of stability can you forecast for the company so that if we bring our teams into this company, it will last for a long time? We know that you will be here for decades. Thank you.
Okay, a very good question. Very good question. Josh, maybe you want to answer that? Well, yeah, I'll do my best, sure. Well, we're providing vendors an opportunity to learn how to market themselves through Gatos University. We've got video modules that people will be able to utilize, and it's been created by our strong passion to help people to learn how to advertise and how to market themselves and how to create their business structure. They'll have those materials available to them, and that's key to making sure that your business is stable and successful. That's true. That's very true. And if I can expand on that, in terms of support, Gatos University is going to provide continual support and tools. So our members who come into the back office, who you're not going to actually see at Gatos University, you'll see when we get our new website open this fall and gone live, you'll see everything Gatos University has to offer, including the very strong support modules that we've got there. So Josh made a really good point, and Charles had a great question in terms of stability. It's the support that we're going to offer that's going to lend itself to this stability, and it's also going to make sure that we've got the venture capital to keep the business stable and to back us up. Now, we've fundraised over $225,000 to date, and almost $250,000 if you think about it. So we've got money to move forward and get this company up and rolling. Our products with the apparel lines that we've chosen are really top of the line. I mean, if you look at some of the stuff that we've chosen and you want to create custom orders in bulk, the companies that we've chosen, you're able to actually order all the way down to one single shirt, which is nice when you look at other companies and the ones that force you to order in bulk. So, excellent question. Appreciate it. Bill, did you have a question?
I sure do have a question for you. So how do you see Gatos evolve over the first few months in the first year? Gatos evolve over the first few months in the first year. How do you see that?
Okay, also a very good question. The way that we envision is, the way that we envision this is over the next few months, this 1.5 grid is going to really be the compensation plan that we are going to have as our foundation. This is the way we see internet marketing going. This is going to work beautifully for us.
That's fantastic.
Graphic designers, advertisers are going to be able to see their money from that end of the business, and customers are going to be able to really see what people have to offer. And also, customer support is going to be top of the line as well. Going on the rest of the year, what we envision is a focus on providing more support to our distributors so that they can market their top of the line materials. They can go to exhibits, they can go to conferences, they can set booths up. A lot of people do a lot of these conferences, but they don't have materials to provide. And we're going to help them provide the materials to really market their business. This is something else that we see coming along in the next year. We're also looking at expanding our own space. Currently, we have 1,000 square feet in here in our internet offices. And what we're looking at is expanding to over 10,000 square feet. So, well, maybe not 10,000, maybe even 100,000 distributors in the next year. So at that point, we clearly are going to need more space ourselves. So this is what our vision is over the next year. Did that answer your question, sir? That
was fabulously done. Thank you so much. And Dr. Merritt and Joshua and Berlina and all the people on the panel tonight, fantastic webinar here. And I hope everyone takes heed at what we're talking about tonight. Congratulations to us all.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Dawn. Dawn, did you have a question for us?
Yeah, I do. And actually, before I say that, I just wanted to say that my daughter, who is hard of hearing, was born in Baltimore, Maryland. Funny, right? So
oh,
I would
wow.
like to know what
that
your...
is funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to know what your short, medium, and long-term battle plan is.
Okay, yeah, another very good question. Difficult question, but and probably a long answer. We do have a plan. Short term is, again, focusing on the 1.5 grid and standing that up. That's our baby. That's our goal. That's what we want to see work out and get stood up. Pulling together the distributors. We have 4 audiences, remember. We've got distributors, we've got web purchasers, we've got the actual advertisers, and I think I hit all 4. So we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs and interacting with each one of these individual audiences. We're hoping to do that in our first year. When you're talking about our medium range goals, what we see ourselves doing is looking at the possibilities of expanding and having mini franchises. We envision setting up these small, what we are calling mobile sites, for people to be able to sell the apparel and actually do the printing on site right there. So people will literally walk up to a booth, be able to order something, and in an hour get their shirt or piece of apparel back. And every piece of apparel that we print from beginning to end takes about 2 minutes, really maybe between 2 to 5 minutes, depending on the shirt. Really, from the point of order to the point of actually processing it, to the point that it actually pops out of our printer. So once we get these mobile sites set up, people will be able to do that. They'll be able to set up kiosks in malls. And something that's more unique with Gatos than any of these other companies out there, franchises, is that they are not at all involved with internet marketing. And what we have done is we have overlaid internet and franchise marketing underneath the same commission plan, this 1.5 grid, meaning that if a customer wants to go to a store, one of your kiosks set up in a mall, and wants to purchase one of these pieces of apparel, so their information is then fed into the system, and their account is generated, and it'll begin showing up in the 1.5 grid. And at that point, that's when the compensation really begins to grow. That's our medium range plan. In terms of our long range goal, our long range plan, we're seeing Gatos grow into a very large conglomerate. And we're looking to pursue real estate business investments, and possibly link up with translation services. We're actually planning to have another business created, which is digital video with translation services. So we'd be able to put captioning on YouTube. And at that point, we'd be able to merge Gatos with that part of the business. So I know it's a really long answer, but I hope I answered your question, Dawn. Awesome, very good. Okay, next question. Okay. So in terms of creating your shirts, are you able to design your own shirt and then market it on your own page? Josh is saying that yes, graphic designers are able to customize their own shirts, their own designs, and be able to put up pictures of their own families. They'll be able to create medals like the one I've got behind me, medallions, and they'll be able to market those through a marketing link on the website. People will be able to see it online. People will be able to see it through their smartphones. People will even be able to order in bulk and go out and sell on their own in the community. So the possibilities are really out there. They're endless, because you can be out there selling in public. People are going to see what this stuff is that you've got, and then they're going to hear the name Gatos, and that's going to start to spread. Very good, thank you. So thanks for that question, Brian. Okay, Bill, you got your hand up.
How can our affiliates become more involved with Gatos?
So by affiliates, you mean distributors, is that correct?
That would be correct.
Right, so and your question is how can they become more involved with Gatos? Excellent question. In terms of being more involved, it's going to be marketing yourselves on the internet. We are an internet company, right? So people who aren't on the internet or using computers are probably not going to be the right audience for Gatos distributors. So folks who do have computers are going to be the ones you're going to want to go after. And I would encourage you, if you want to get more involved, is to check the logins in your back office. Check from time to time to see what your web traffic looks like, because we do have advertising space, and that'll help you to be able to check what your traffic is. And we're also going to keep you updated. The system is going to be able to once we get the franchise up and going, people are going to be able to open your own franchise if you're interested. And at that point, what you should do is contact us, sit down, share your vision with us, and how you feel your businesses are going to work well with Gatos. And we'll have franchise trainings that'll be able to help folks expand their individual businesses. The other thing to think about is that in terms of affiliates, you can actually help Gatos by creating booths, attending conferences, attending exhibits, and meeting the community face-to-face. Because remember, like I said, we're both internet-based and also live, in-person, face-to-face. So what you want to try and do is have both of these approaches. You may find that one works better for you than the other. So Josh, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add to that? No. Okay. All right. Very good. Bill, did I answer your question?
That was an excellent answer. And yes, you did. And I wanted to say one more thing. I really tell you the quality and the work that's been put into Gatos is incredible. So don't take this lightly, who's ever watching right now and who will be seeing this soon. This is something you need to get involved with.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Berlina, do you have a question?
How do we pay for our monthly fees? What do we pay for that?
Well, you can use a credit card. You can use automatic deduction or for renewals. So you mean auto renewal? Is that right, Josh? Yeah, auto renewals. You can just set it up to be auto renewals directly through your credit card. And we take MasterCard. We take Visa. Correct. That's correct. Yeah. Now I know that some of you have asked me if we use Amex, and at this point we are not. We don't know that we're going to be using Amex, but at this point you can definitely use MasterCard and Visa, and because we're on the eWall platform, and they're the ones that accept MasterCard and Visa. So the e-commerce platform. I apologize. And if you want to subscribe to our service package, you can always upgrade or downgrade. Depends on what you're interested in, and you can do that at any time. So thank you, Berlina. Anybody out there have any more questions? It looks like we are at about 60 attendees out there. So I'm wondering if anybody has any questions from the gallery. Any questions out there before we move ahead to our text questions? No, we're good? Okay, very good, very good. Oh, okay. Yep, Bill?
I think this is one probably Charles would have asked, but how often do they get paid?
Ah, yes. Okay, excellent question. So we're going to be paying every 2 weeks, bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that.
And it's going to be through the eWall program. Probably direct bank transfers, or the ACH transfer. So it'll be coming from Gatos, I think, to the eWall system, and then it'll go directly to your bank. Yeah, so all you have to do is set your information up in eWall, and it will automatically set up the direct deposits directly into your account. It's that easy. You can use your credit card after that once it goes into your account. Okay.
Can I make one comment? This is Charles. Okay, so for all the distributors watching this, I know there's dozens and dozens of you in our first webinar. We will build these numbers to hundreds and hundreds and then thousands of you as the months progress. I'd like to give a special shout out to Don and Bill. Thank you so much for coming today. They're my two generals that will be helping us run our sub-team within Gatos with a silent K. And I think our team name might actually be called The Silent K, just so everyone remembers. But as we get closer to the official launch, we will be hosting some webinars with the corporate team. So thank you to all the corporate team on here. You're doing a fantastic job. I really love the backdrop. I mean, it stands out. That's so professional. I wish I had something behind me. Amazing. So if you're interested in learning more, if you have any questions, find us on Facebook. We'll start to answer your preliminary questions to all of the founders. Thank you for joining us early. There's going to be a lot of activity over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Stay tuned. I know the doc will, let us know when the next official corporate webinars are. But we are in search of a new team name. We will be having a team Facebook page. So keep an eye out. We'll let you know what we decide. Team Silent K? I don't know. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Thank you. You know what, Charles? You know what the name behind it is? Behind GA to SK. I'm not telling you what it is, though. You gotta come to our next webinar to see what the name stands for. We're gonna hold one every month, so you'll get the answer next month.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, awesome. So I think let's go ahead with some of the text questions that are coming up. Looks like we got a lot of questions out there. If you've got to go, it's perfectly fine. If you can stay, that would be wonderful. We'll try to get to your question as quickly as we can, and it'll be nice because that way you'll be able to see the answers from the panel. But I will go ahead and open the text question, and I'll repeat them, and then I'll open it up to the panel for the answers. And I'll probably take the last spot in answering. So let's have a quick look. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm looking through the text questions. I'm looking for some relevant ones. Looks like a lot of folks out there are asking. Now let me just give me 1 second. I'm just going to skip down to some of the more recent questions. Hang on. Okay, so here we've got a question related to an individual wanting to know if they have to earn a great deal of referrals in order to earn bonuses, or is it all right to just focus on the actual art and graphics and the products themselves? So, panel, does anybody want to take that? This is from Donald Gardner. So the question again is, are we more focused on referrals and recruitment, or are we more focused on the actual products? And Josh was saying, it's the products. It's the products. You want to keep people happy. You want to have a quality product. So you want to focus on marketing yourselves and getting your product out there. Yeah, and I do. I agree with Josh. That was a great answer. Thank you, Josh. All right, we'll go on to the next question. Looks like the next question is Jivanko is asking, I would like to know how we're able to earn money if all we do is pay $100. Where is our where's the compensation that reaches 200,000 coming from? And Josh is saying, well, that's a good question. The point being, if you are out in the field and you are working and you're working the plan, it's going to depend on how much you're actually out there marketing yourself, right? And it's going to take time. You're going to have to learn your field. You're going to have to learn your product. And Raymond is saying, I would like to add that remember that the grid is very narrow. So you are going to see some spillover, which means that you are not going to have to invest in our company. That once you join us and you work together with us in marketing yourselves, we're going to work together and we're all going to grow at the same pace. And remember, every account has up to 50,000 people, has the ability to add 50,000 people to join under that particular account. That's the capacity for every account. So think about capacity. The capacity, 50,000 people, is huge. And if you get in early, this is a great opportunity for growth down the line. So I don't want to say 200,000 a month. I don't know, that's necessarily possible. It may be for some of you, depending on how hard you work it. But you may see 10%, 1% of the amount that you're investing, and that's a nice income to begin with. It's a nice take home for yourselves. But you remember, you're going to have to put the effort in. You're going to have to follow the system, and then you will see the success happen. All right, let's go on to our next question. Looks like we got quite a few here. Hang on. Before I continue, it does appear that some folks seem to be
Looks like the people
focused on the interpreter. Is that correct?
right, and so some of the deaf attendees can't see Raymond or can't see. I don't know what their view is. Maybe they need to change.
Good point. Okay, I see. So it says that a lot of people out there calling in can't seem to see. So the audience can apparently only see one person at a time. Is that right, Brian? Is that what we're seeing? Yeah, it looks like some people don't really know how to set up their gallery view. That seems to be the problem. Oh, okay, all right. So what we'll need to do is give better instructions, and that way next time people will be able to pop around the screen and see everybody a little bit clearer. Yeah, we'll upload more information about the best way to follow along during the webinar later on. We'll definitely do that. Okay, next question. Let me just check time. So it looks like we've got about 13 minutes left. And I'm just scrolling through the questions, so bear with me for just a moment. So we have another good question that's been asked by Joe Catano, who asks, is bulk pricing going to be available soon? And I think I'm probably the right person to answer that question, but let me just make sure. Let me just pull up my technology here. All right, in answer to Joe's question, our business focuses on DNG, which stands for Direct to Garment Printing. So we don't do screen printing, which is what you may have seen. Screen printing allows for reduced pricing, bulk pricing. Now, when you talk about direct garment, what's wonderful about that is that if people just want to order one shirt, they can do that. If you want to order 25 shirts, then we will offer a discount. And you can still consider that a bulk discount, absolutely. But we can't really compete with the screen print part of the industry. So in terms of that bulk question, unfortunately, we won't be able to compete in that arena. We aren't there yet, and we won't be able to provide screen printing services. Now, we do plan to have hot screen printing. Now, hot screen printing, sorry, heat press, interpreter mistake, heat press printing, sorry, for large organizations that would like to place large orders, things like schools and churches and the like. And I would also like to clarify about DNG, the direct to garment printing. This is a tremendous advantage over screen printing. It's much better quality, and DTG has changed and improved in terms of technology over the last 5 years. It's amazing what we're able to do. And the shirt that I'm wearing, for instance, that we've been wearing, I can tell you that from my experience, when I order from DTG, after washing it multiple times, 60, 70, 80 times in that period of time, the material feels the same. The look of it still looks the same. There's no peeling of any of the graphics. There's no cracking of the graphics. When you talk about screen printing, you have nice graphics, there's no question, but later you're going to see that cracking happen over time. So there's positive and negatives to both sides. And we do plan to expand, and we do plan to offer better pricing down the road. Bulk pricing is definitely a goal, and maybe that's our long-range goal. Okay, next question. It looks like a lot of the questions that we've got are with technology issues that people are having with the webinar, but the same person, Joe Catano, asks if there are any additional products or product categories that we envision down the line that we may add. And the answer, of course, to that is yes. So Josh, maybe you want to speak to that, and then I can follow up. Sure, I'd be happy to talk a little bit about that. We are planning to add different categories, different products. We want to begin with apparel and make sure that that's up and running and everything's running smooth with that. And once we've got that stood up, then we're looking at adding other lines, other products to our e-commerce line. We're definitely looking at adding products. We're looking at adding, you know, the ball caps like Josh has. See mine? You're talking about mine, right? You like my hat? You like it? Right. So exactly, we were looking at adding ball caps. And I'd also like to add, this is Josh speaking again, I'd also like to add that a lot of folks use ball caps in the United States. You've got 43 million sold, and that's a lot of ball caps. So that's definitely something we want to look at. Yeah, that's a big market. So we're also, this is Raymond speaking again, we're also thinking about connecting with several shoe companies, retailers. There are some technologies out there that can actually print on shoes. You know, and a lot of young kids love having like their own unique identities on their shoes, right? That's something that's really hot these days. So maybe they want to have their team name printed on their shoes. And that's something that we're definitely interested in and fascinated by. So we're also thinking of expanding into the area of 3D printing. So, you know, 2D printing pops out, but when you get into the glow in the dark kinds of stuff, that's what really stands out. So these are the different areas that we're thinking of expanding into as well. I'm just checking our text questions again. We've got another question that's related to how long will it take to set up the eWalt account to get that connection working with Gatos. And I would say, yeah, it probably takes, I would say, really less than an hour to get that connection set up. But you have to remember that they have to go through the process of bank verification, and they probably are going to require some verification directly with your banks. Once that's set up, that that takes a bit of time. That may take 2 days, up to 2 days. So you may be looking at about, I would say, no more than 2 days to get those eWalt accounts created from start to end. And Josh is saying, in my experience, it's taken me less than 30 minutes to get the approval and to get the system set up. So as long as you've got your account number and you're ready to go with all of your bank information, you should be good to go in that same period of time. Okay, my friends, it looks like we've got about 5 minutes left for our webinar. So let me go ahead and answer a couple of more questions before we close for tonight. Very good. So we have a question from Jason Ennis, who is saying that a few people have asked me about paying this monthly fee, the $5, $10, $50, $100 fees. So if somebody starts, say, with the $10 fee, are they locked in to that specific category, or are they given the opportunity to change to a different category? So I'm going to go ahead and answer that question for you. First of all, we just mentioned earlier that you can always downgrade your account and you can always upgrade your account at any time. And I also want to tell you what's really interesting and cool about this, about the 1.5 grid, is that it's free to be a member. Customers don't have to pay a monthly fee. This is just, they can go ahead and just buy their apparel. And then grab that spot in the 1.5 grid. And I know that some of you out there may be a little concerned about your down line. You're saying, if you've got 1,000 people, or you have 950 people, and they're not paying their monthly fees, and they're not active, what are you going to do? Or if you've got 50 people only that are active. So there's concern out there about that, and we know that. And some people, may drop below the level that they need to stay at. So what do they do in that case? Well, what's really cool about our process is that we compress. So after everybody has gone through the payment period, we compress out. So people will become non-active members, and that way you can maximize your income. We've got one more question out there, and then I think we'll be finished for the night. So there's an individual who's asking, what if a member doesn't have any referrals, doesn't have any recruitments? How will this affect Gatos as a company? Josh, you want to take that? No, go ahead. Raymond, you can answer that. Okay, again, a very good question. Gatos and Gatos' success does not depend merely on the referrals and everyone's effort. Gatos is also dependent on your individual effort, working together with us. You have to think of us all as one team. The 1.5 grid is designed specifically to work successfully as a team. So if you've got somebody who's not referring, they can still hold their spot and they can still earn, just with the understanding that they're going to end up earning less than anybody else who is working harder and is working the plan. Gatos is designed so that if you aren't hitting your recruitment, you are still going to be able to earn. And I hope that remains attractive and brings more people in. And that way, the person who isn't finding people knows that their spot is safe, and eventually the system will allow them to bring more people in. We'll let them get training in the Gatos University, and they will be able to get out there and find more customers. Now remember that it's not just face-to-face marketing. It's not just friends and family. It's not just your spouses. We are doing this together, and we're doing it on the internet. So you can get out there and you can work with us. We'll train you how to market yourselves through the internet and reach more people. So I hope that answers your question. And it looks like we are at the end of the webinar. I'd like to close, but before I close, does anyone from the panel have any final remarks?
I just want to thank each and every one of you for attending tonight. I certainly want to thank each Dr. Merritt and Joshua and Brian and Berlina and Day and all the different people that are on here, of course Charles and Dawn and others for taking the time to share Gatos' opportunity and the real reason why we're here. So you guys did an awesome job, and for all the panelists and also all the people with questions and answers, please keep them coming. And if we don't have the answer now, we will get them back to you. Thank you for attending.
Hi, this is Charles. Thank you very much, everybody. We're looking forward to an amazing fall. I'm very, very excited. Thank you to everyone for coming out. You will see us again shortly. God bless. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everyone. And I just want to close by letting you know that Gatos' vision and the take-home that I would like you to leave tonight with is that we want to be number one. We want to be the #1 print-on-demand apparel company, auto ship-free, internet marketing program on the earth. That's our plan. Change is good, folks. So our next meeting will be next month. We'll let you all know the exact date. And thank you all for your time. Good night, everyone. Thanks so much.